I can already picture Jason Kelsey's Super Bowl speech for next year. Howie Roseman's making too many trades. Darren Worley can't cover. Michael Bennett is too old. It's the whole team. It's the whole team. Anyway, I'm making a video about Michael Bennett's age and why it's just a number. I've heard the people. I've heard the groans. I've also heard the salty fans in Seattle. He's too old. He's not what he used to be. All right, here's the first thing that you got to keep in mind. The Eagles use a rotation along their defensive line. It's like shifts in hockey. You're constantly moving parts around. So let's take a look at this, okay? Brandon Graham led the Eagles in defensive snaps along the defensive line. 728, 64% of the snaps. You know how many snaps Michael Bennett had last year? 941, 200 plus more than BG, 84.79%. So how does Bennett fit into this mix? I think he's going to get somewhere between 650 snaps, 675, something like that. He's going to kind of take what Vinny Curry had. Vinny Curry had 642. So that's what I'm seeing. And he's going to remain fresh because if you listen to what Brandon Graham said, Fletcher Cox said, Chris Long said at the end of the year, they were the freshest that they'd ever been in their career at that point in the season, late in the season, when you need to be fresh. That's why you rotate. So you keep the guys fresh, and when it's postseason time, you unleash deep penetration. Deep. And the way that Michael Bennett plays, too. All right, so yes, he's going to be 33 when the season starts. But when you look at age, what declines when you get older? Your athleticism. So in terms of athleticism for a defensive lineman, all right, so maybe your speed rush isn't as good. But the speed rush is just one of the many moves that Michael Bennett has in his arsenal. Because for him, he's about strength. He's about technique. He's about hand usage, football IQ, timing the snap, understanding angles. That's what his game is all about. So no, all right, so his speed rush has declined. It hasn't been what it used to be, but he's still got the strength and hand usage, the technique. I mean, I've been watching Michael Bennett film the last couple days, and I'm not seeing what the Seattle fans are seeing. And even if you look at the production, all right, so yeah, he did have 200 more snaps than BG, but take a look at this. So Brandon Graham last year, 9.5 sacks, 45 quarterback hurries, 4 quarterback hits. You look at Bennett, 8.5 sacks, 44 quarterback hurries, 16 quarterback hits. Yes, he had 200 more snaps than him, but that's still pretty good production. And obviously, we're also going to see Bennett line up all over the defensive line, just like Brandon Graham did. So in 2017, 63% of Michael Bennett's snaps came as an edge player, 37% while he was lined up inside. So that third down pass rush, Derek Barnett, Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, and Michael Bennett. Deep penetration. Yeah, that's right. So the fans in Seattle, they can remain salty, all right? But that's okay, because here in Philadelphia, we got ourselves another piece to add to the arsenal. And Michael Bennett, he's going to be just fine. All right, maybe he's going to start hitting that wall maybe at 34, 35, but we still got another year or two left before we get to that mark. I mean, remember what Chris Long did last year. Chris Long had 4 strip sacks during the regular season, kept them fresh, and he played remarkably. Played really good football last year. And keeping everyone fresh, keeping everyone rotating, that's the key to success along the Eagles' defensive line. And in order to rotate that many players, that many pieces, well, you got to have a lot of good players. And obviously the Eagles' defensive line by far the best in the NFL. So just a quick little video on that. I'm Adrian Fedkiw. I'm out. Peace.